All right, Black Power. This is the General Sarah and Seti. Now I'm black at y'all ass again with this real fucking talk. Uh-oh, let me turn this down. All right, Black Power. This is the General Sarah and Seti. Now I'm black. Almost had to let that fly. That shit sounded good. You know what I'm saying? What's up, family? We're in the house again. We black at y'all ass again. Let me get my chair. Let me get up on my goddamn pedestal. You know what? Last time I seen a motherfucker put in a comment, motherfucker say, why this nigga point the camera up at him? You understand why he don't sit, look directly in the camera, bitch? Because I ain't on your level, bitch. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker say, Seti, why you don't start it? Bitch, it don't matter what time I start. Nigga, just long as you in the house when I start, nigga. Fuck is wrong with y'all niggas? I ain't on your motherfucking time, nigga. You understand? 99.9% of the time, I'm on time. If y'all see me and I ain't on time, because I'm still fucking with the information so I can have it right when I give it to you. You understand what I'm saying? I be trying to squeeze a motherfucking 3-4 hour lecture into an hour and a half, too. So I have to fumble with the shit to get it right. Nigga, I ain't out here bullshitting. So if any of y'all motherfuckers don't want to wait and when I get started, though, it's like an avalanche. You understand what I'm saying? It's like an avalanche. So for the nigga out there that ask me why I don't look direct, bitch, because I ain't on your level. Okay? It's levels to this shit. I like sitting in the motherfucking chair I like sitting in. You see what I'm saying? Woo! Let me get up and, yeah, nigga, that's how it's supposed to be. How my family out there doing? I love y'all. Thank you and appreciate you for being in the house. You know what I'm saying? We got another banger today. Always gonna be a banger. I ain't gonna even miss. Each time I come up here, it's gonna be invaluable information that I'm dropping. You understand what I'm saying? That took me many, many years. Much needed time to do the research. You understand me? So, again, if you see me and I ain't on time, I'm going to come in and I'm going to make the adjustments. I know family out there, y'all be eager to hear the God get busy. I understand that. That's why I'm going to try 99.9% of the time to be on time. But again, if you see me move some shit back, I'm trying to readjust the information. You know what I'm saying? So I can have it right for you. You know what I'm saying? So when you leave this live stream, when you leave this lecture, when you leave Sarah and Seti, nigga, you done grew. Believe that. Each time you come to General Sarah and Seti page, and I do this for my people. I don't do this for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I do it for the family that love and respect me and love and respect the master teachers, which is our master teachers. Y'all know whose shoulders I stand on. If we got the same teachers, we family. I do it for you. I don't do it for the next motherfucker. So don't come bringing your bitch ass into my comment section thinking you gonna hear what you like. Okay? See what I'm saying? That's how I know you's a bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? I always have to get started like this. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna have a whole lot of, freestyling in front of the lecture, but sometimes I have to get warmed up. You know what I'm saying? I don't just jump right into information. I get warmed up. So when I go into the information, I'm hot. You see what I'm saying? That's just like when you go and when they play basketball, they have a shoot around. See, I'm having my shoot around right now, and I'm warming up. So to all you naysayers out there, you understand what I'm saying? If your man's is on the other channel, take your bitch ass on the other channel. Don't come in my comments crying about some shit you don't like. Okay? That's what's wrong with you bitch ass motherfucker. See, it's a whole lot of channels on the motherfucking TV I don't like. I don't watch them. I don't even turn on them. I don't turn on that channel and get to crying like a hoe. You understand? Because there's something on there that I don't like. You understand what I'm saying? I already know it's some shit on I don't like. So I just don't turn on the channel. So if you hear some shit on here that you don't like, change the fucking channel. Don't cry like a bitch in my comments. Straight the fuck up. Be a man, be a woman. Go where you like. But you know I throw daggers. And you can feel that shit even if you ain't looking. You say, damn, what the fuck is that feeling in my chest? It must be that nigga Seti. It must be that nigga Seti. See, you niggas know, regardless to whether they respect, ain't no motherfucking way you gonna come on my live stream and tell me that every fucking thing that you saw on that live stream, you didn't see the truth in that. Now, even if a motherfucker don't agree with everything that I believe in, and I don't expect, some people do. Some people do, and that's okay too. If you right up to the middle with General Sarasu said, I respect you. And if you don't agree with everything, you agree with 85%, 75%, I still respect you. You understand? But you're not gonna tell me that you came on here and you didn't see no truth. You a lying motherfucker. And whatever, and if I dig in your deserve it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think that, they decide how I work my channel. You don't decide how I work my channel. If I want to sit up and above the goddamn computer, that's what the fuck I'm gonna do. You don't like that? Get your bitch ass off my channel. See, you cry about, and people wonder why we can't get no goddamn where. Cause y'all cry about the littlest shit instead of listening, taking what you can get and moving the fuck on. You niggas take time to whine about bullshit. That's why I know why we ain't going and moving progressively like we could. You understand me? It's a whole lot of motherfuckers I don't agree with. I don't fuck with them. That's just how I rock. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no time for that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because if I had to stop and address every motherfucker that didn't like how I rock, I wouldn't even have time to teach. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's a whole, you know why? Because there's a whole lot of zombie niggas out there. You understand what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of possessed niggas. And so you can't just speak truth. Nigga, you got to exercise this goddamn truth. That's what you hearing up front. You understand what I'm saying? It's a lot of demons in these niggas. You can't just put no motherfucking information out here. You got to exercise that goddamn demon in these niggas. And so I call their name. You understand what I'm saying? And anytime you exercise a motherfucker that's possessed with a demon, and you know that demon name, you'll see that motherfucker get the foam in that mouth. He get disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all you need to know. Once you know his motherfucking name, you got the source of how to crush his ass. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what's happening out there. To all my moderators, y'all beautiful. Y'all doing the right shit out there. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I was in school, it take two motherfuckers. It could be a class full of 30 people. One motherfucker could disrupt the class to the point that by the time the teacher get that motherfucker under wrap, nigga, 20, 30 minutes, the class ain't but a goddamn 45 minutes to an hour. And so he done fucked off 30 minutes of the damn teaching. You understand what I'm saying? So have no mercy. Now, if you want to ask an intellectual question about some information, ask it with respect. In my house. In my house. You know what I'm saying? In my house. You ask it with respect. And I'm always, and that's, I encourage that. I don't at all discourage intellectual discourse, because we both grow in that. You see what I'm saying? So when you ask me some intellectual question, that causes me to rise to the occasion. So I encourage that. But you in my house. You see what I'm saying? So you asked it, respect, or you get the fuck out of my house. It's just simple as that. I had to set the rules to this shit. You know what I'm saying? I put a lot of time and years. You know what I'm saying? I'm a master at this time. Motherfucker, when I get started, I could come on right now and say, you know what? Fuck it, I'm done. And I'm off, nigga. Because I already know I got what you need. And you're not going to get it from nowhere else. I hear the internet. You're not going to get it from nowhere else. I have to come, too many times I'll be behind the scene because, like I say, I love research. I have to get back off into, going on live and blogging because I get into the research, nigga, and I'll be gone. You know what I'm saying? So, I have to come back out and set the fucking record straight with all these old bum-ass niggas. Another generation of a bum-ass nigga I done exterminated damn near 10 years ago. But again, like I say, you can pull weeds, come spring, nigga, by time, summertime, every 3-4 weeks, you got to go back out there and pull some more goddamn weeds. You think you done pull, it's always gonna be some weeds that pop up in that goddamn grass. So you got to go out there and pull some more weeds. Now, I'm about to get busy. I ain't gonna take too much time. I just want to address that. This is an African-centered platform. GAS, okay? GAS, Global African Supremacy. Okay, that's the spiritual, political ideology of the Black Power cartel. You understand? Which, BPC, worldwide, because we is worldwide. We got African students from all over the world that been following General Seti a very, very long. I don't even have to throw no years up. Nigga, I'm the man right now. You understand what I'm saying? And I see myself without peers. A lot of people say I'm egotistical. So motherfucking what? It's the truth. I don't have to be the nigga. Y'all see, y'all niggas been for so long looking down. I don't owe you nothing. I'm at war with the world. Okay? I'm not here to be in no lane that you like. You understand what I'm saying? I'm an unorthodox motherfucker. Okay? So don't ever think that I'm going to just come in here and do it like this, that. Fuck that. I'm going to do it how I want to do it. You understand what I'm saying? That's what's wrong with y'all motherfuckers. Y'all think a nigga supposed to come in here and fall into a lane that you like. Bitch, I wasn't born into this world to please you, nigga. Fuck out of my goddamn face. Everything y'all think is programmed. You a programmed ass nigga. It should be like, nah, bitch, I'm a fucking glitch in this shit. A major motherfucking glitch. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I get down. So as soon as somebody just like the term nigga, a lot of people say he don't say this, bitch, and that make me say it even more because you do not tell me what the fuck to do. The white man been telling our people what to do for the last 400-500 years, stressing us the fuck out because we couldn't be ourselves. So I'm a rebel to the motherfucking day that I die. And soon as a motherfucker, all these religions with rules and this and that, soon as a motherfucker say, don't, bitch, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it any motherfucking way just to show you, nigga, that I'm a rebel. And no matter what the fuck you say, bitch, I'm going to ride on my own accord. If I feel this is the right thing to do, bitch, I'm going to ride on it. I'd rather ride on me than ride on another motherfucker. Okay? Because this is life is of chances and decisions. You understand what I'm saying? And pushing the boundary. You know what I'm saying? And this is what BPC is about. We push the motherfucking boundary. We go where no motherfucker would go. Y'all niggas stay in the box. You niggas want to read symbols and say, oh, we deciphered the metal netter. General Seti said, God damn it, that white man ain't deciphered shit. If you can't understand black people's language today, you can't go back no goddamn 3,000 and 4,000 years and decipher the black man and the black woman, nigga. We of a divine creation, nigga. We more complex than the damn pyramid. We more complex than the stars. You understand what I'm saying? We are that same divine creation. So you're not gonna tell me no A, B, C, D, F, G, explain our sacred language. Bitch, go dream, nigga. Dream. Go further than that. And that's what we about over here. You understand what I'm saying? So you're never gonna be, and you know, come over here and there's some lanes and some rules. And yes, we're gonna stay to logical conclusions and logical scientific experiment and logical. You know, we ain't gonna go outside of the rules of nature, but we gonna, nigga, when we talking about alley-ooping, bitch, I'm Sean Kemp. Throw that bitch to the ceiling. I'm going to get it. I'm gonna go get it. Ain't no motherfucker, you can throw that bitch up as high as you want. I'm going up there to get it. So again, just to let everybody know, this is my platform. You know what I'm saying? This is my platform. And I've benefited from it all the while. I know it's the best platform for our people. You understand? It speaks to everybody. Okay? Long, you know, it speaks to everybody. We keep it street over here. You understand what I'm saying? What I mean by keep it 100. Shit up, you niggas can talk the best motherfucking English in the world, bitch, you still a slave. Our people still going into 2020 with no fucking wealth. And we got all these niggas with all these degrees and all of these certificates and all these brands and all of this shit. We got more of these motherfuckers than we ever had. And still in 2020, we still slated to have zero wealth. Okay? With all of that. So if you know, my question is, don't look into the so-called have-nots and blame us for what the condition of the race is when so many of you motherfuckers went to school, got the goddamn degree, supposed to be the most intellectual motherfuckers in the race, and yet and still you ain't done no more than the nigga that ain't got it. Flat out, fuck out of my face. Had to warm up today, family. Had to warm up today. Now, let's go on off into this. Let me get my monitor up. Fake ass niggas. To my family out there, honor you and love you. To all family out there, been giving donations to the God. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Much respect. You understand, it always goes back to something that's needed for me to benefit so that I can come and give it back to you. You understand? I'm not the kind of nigga that ride around and flash in front of the people. Nigga, I buy needed information. I'm mostly all my, you know, I take care of my family, this, that, and the third, but I always go and get educational material. So, and books and go and do the research to bring it back to you. I don't keep it I don't hold that up and over the people and say, I'm better than you because I done, but honor me for the fact of doing this for the people when nobody would do it. You see what I'm saying? We got all our master teachers who gave their life that died in nursing homes. And they did 50 and 60 years of their life researching. If it was not for them, we would not be here. Yet and still, they went out like that. That's dishonorable. That's dishonorable to a people to say they built the pyramid. We can't be, you know, putting up these medals and putting these medals on our chest if we ain't earned it. You got to earn them medals. When you say you the pyramid builder, then we should be building up this economic platform to get up out of this goddamn condition. If we not doing that, we just jaw jacking. We just intellectual masturbation. We jacking off. You understand? Coming up here jacking, putting up photos, putting up links to this, that, and the third when it really don't mean shit. Because when you go behind the scene, you niggas living just like any other old crazy ass Negro. Still giving your money to the white man. Still practicing the holiday. You understand? That's why I put it right here today, you know, for New Year's Eve. And I'm coming back tomorrow. This is going to be pretty much a 4-day lecture where I, you know, share over a 3-4 day, because it's a lot of information. Let me get my monitor up and I'm going to rock. I'm going to rock. I got to warm up. You know what I'm saying? This is so when I get off into the information, shit, I'm popping. Oh, just a second, family. Get the water. And let me get my monitor up. And I'm going in. Hold on. This is a necessary lecture, too. This is necessary. You know what I'm saying? It's right about that time, man. A lot of people out here think it's a new year. It's not no new damn year in the dead of winter. Okay? When you talk about new life, you talking about spring and summertime. The fuck you gonna have a new year in the dead of winter? Niggas just, you know, some of y'all niggas out there on Kwanzaa. You understand? And I understand your premise, but you're out of season. Because ain't no way you should be having no harvest holiday in no damn dead of winter. The death of the sun. You see what I'm saying? We are solar people. So you know damn well we out of season. Let me get this shit up here. Okay, I got my monitor up here. Let me prop it up here. Okay. Now, today we're going to be dealing with the so-called New Year. I'm also going to touch on Christmas. You understand? I don't want to get up out of this month or, you know, out of this period, because a lot of people is open right now. You understand what I'm saying? If you practice Christmas and you didn't know no better, all right, I'm not gonna fault you for that. Okay, but you're here today to get some information. And this new year, we're gonna look at some of the major deities that are worshipped at this time, whether you know you worshiping these deities or not. Okay, January is named after the Roman god Janus. Okay, spelled Janus. I'm gonna bring it up, but I got to warm up. You see what I'm saying? You know that, and you see he had two faces. You understand? Because he's representing yesterday and today. He represents passages and bridges. You understand? Leading from one place in time to the next place in time. He's also a deity of hallways. And that's why the janitor is also named after Janus, because he's a god of not hallways, but it takes you. You understand what I'm saying? From one place of consciousness to the next place of consciousness. Okay? And I'm going to show you the demonic origins in that. See what I'm saying? We're going to deal with the calendar. Okay? Even a lot of people, if you study the Yule, and they say the wheel, and everybody is into the Wiccan thing now. And they talk about this wheel, and you'll see the Wiccan wheel, and you'll see the different holidays on that wheel. Not understanding that what they talking about when they say the wheel, they talking about the 364 and 1/4 day calendar, the revolution of the earth around the sun. That's the wheel. And they act as if, and we got our people that's unaware that this wheel was created in Africa, was created in the Nile Valley, okay? It was created before Egypt. I got to be clear about that. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people think the knowledge of the pyramid was created before Egypt, okay? You don't just, when you look at ancient Egypt, you're talking about the pyramid age was in the old kingdom. You understand what I'm saying? When you're talking about the largest of the pyramids, they were constructed in the 4th dynasty. Now, Egypt legitimately had up into the 25th dynasty was probably the last great dynasty. They had a couple of more kings after the 25th dynasty that we should honor them because they still were African kings, but they was on their way out. It wasn't it wasn't the whole dynasty. It was a king here and a king there. So you talking about Taraka, you talking about Pianki, Shabaka. That's the 25th dynasty. Egypt is on its way out. And so when you talk about the pyramids, the greatest monuments of ancient Egypt and the Nile Valley, because the Nubians, the Puntites, you understand, from the interior of Africa, the which erroneously called the pygmy, all of our family had a part to play in the development of the Nile Valley. And as I taught yesterday, some of that knowledge takes hundreds of thousands of years to develop. And so when they got to Egypt, when they got down into Egypt, they had developed so they was able to do what you see in Egypt. You could not develop that knowledge in a couple hundred of years. That's impossible, okay? And so that's why they try to steal our knowledge and say, a God came down out of the sky and gave people the knowledge. Because they've been lying for so goddamn long, saying that our people was ignorant, that we were sambos and shit. And when they came to Africa, niggas was rolling around in the dirt, throwing mud pies, running around in Africa naked or with a thong on, with a goddamn bone in his head, in his hair for a damn beret. You see what I'm saying? All that, racist information that they put out on our people. My phone be jumping in and out. I be needing that monitor to see if everything is, and family, thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. Let me keep it moving. So even the calendar, you see what I'm saying? People don't understand. Our people been studying the stars now for close to 1 million years. See, we the only people, see anybody else say that, motherfuckers will look at them and say, you know what I'm saying? These niggas just making shit up. The African is the only one that can legitimately say they've been on this planet for millions of years, okay? And when you look at, and let me tell y'all something, a lot of these motherfuckers, I heard people, after I got off the live stream talking about the Olmecs. You understand? I'm gonna deal with their calendar today. You understand what I'm saying? Motherfucking Mexican had got in the comments and say, well, we got more pyramids, and then you can have a whole lot of little pyramids. You can add all of them motherfuckers up, and they still cannot compare to one megalithic pyramid in ancient Egypt. Okay? And we talking about monuments from BC, not just at the beginning, 0 B. We talking about 4 and 5 and 6 and 7,000 BC. Africa has more monuments I'm talking about a grandeur. You see what I'm saying? When I went to Egypt and I went to the Great Pyramids, see, when you pull up on the front, you see you can't see the other pyramids aligned on the Nile. So you got to go in the back. When you walk in the back and you get a panoramic view, my God, you can see the pyramids 30 and 40 miles up the Nile, standing in the sky. I mean, we talking about granite. We're not talking about that. And I respect what our ancestors did in the Americas. Man, listen here. Man, trying to compare those pyramids in the Americas to the pyramids in Africa is like trying to compare a fucking clubhouse a nigga got in a tree out there to the goddamn Empire State Building. You understand me? And it's probably even beyond that. See, when you look at them pyramids, and like I showed, you see the mound up under the pyramid, and this is warming up. It all relates to what I'm saying. When you see the mound under the pyramid, and you see how, you know how that was built. Okay, you know how that was built. You saying, damn, that's still a megalithic structure, and I'm still in awe of what they did. You know, Teotihuacan, which is the largest one, you have to be in awe of that. That's our people, though. We put that there. But that's about the only one. It might be a couple more that you had to salute. God damn it. But when you go to Egypt, that shit is like, I don't know how the hell these people, our people, put that there. It's shocking. You know what I'm saying? You literally in shock of how they did it. It's impossible. You know, when a lot of people got a whole lot of words when that they could create when they get to the pyramid. When I got to the pyramid, the effect that it had on me, the first thing that's gonna come out of any individual mouth is when he look up and is damn. That's the first. You in shock when you say, he's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? How? When you go to America, you know how. You see, it's easy. They made a mound and they put the damn brick around it, not granite blocks, bricks. You see, stucco and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Don't let these people fool you. And when you see, you talking about, you got Khufu, you got Khafra, you got Menkaure, you got Seneferu, you got Pepi, you got a lot of skyscrapers. You understand what I'm saying? That defy the, logic. And when you see it in a panoramic view, it's like you almost, the heaven that they talking about is in Egypt. There is nothing that you can visually see that will shock your mind to the point, like, damn, I'm not talking about just looking at the 3 pyramids at Giza. I'm talking about going behind it, look here, and then look at the panoramic view of the rest of the pyramids going up, and they 30 and 40 miles up the pyramid. You can still see them in the sky. It's shocking to the mind. It's shocking to the mind that our people, we talking about men and women, had advanced to such a point where they could create that. That's almost like, I say, damn. And I know it was, but that just show you how far we are from the original knowledge that, we developed over the millions of years. And it's going to be critical of building up, the type of structure that when we get back on our throne, we on our throne spiritually and mentally. Physically, when we get that, we'll never drop the ball again because it's too detrimental to our people to drop the ball. So now we back to the calendar. Okay, we got to get back to this calendar because this is what they talking about, the wheel. Okay, and then you'll see they got Yule on that wheel. They got Samhain or whatever, which is supposed to be Halloween. And so the pagan European throw that up into the face of the Christian and say we had the will and this was before all the Christian holidays and this is what we had before the Christian, but not understanding that the wheel itself is African creation. Them Europeans that's over there now are not the original people of that land. The African, which I've tried to explain to these people over here, is, the first people in every land that's worthy to be in. Now, we're not talking and shit, and even some of our people went up into the cold region, but we did not populate up there. You understand? So all this concepts that we indigenous to the whole planet is a goddamn lie. You understand? That's just like they speak that Aboriginal shit and not knowing the origins of that word. We are not indigenous. White people are indigenous to the cold. That's why they white. That's why they don't have no fucking melanin. So for us to say we indigenous to everywhere is a damn lie. We are people of the sun. You understand? Y'all niggas is contradicting yourself when y'all say certain shit. Now, we're going to be dealing with Janus. And Janus was the dominant deity in Rome. Okay, where you got Jupiter, which was the counterpart of Zeus. Okay, they transferred them over to Rome, and Zeus became Jupiter. Eros, Cupid became Eros, and so on and so forth. Venus became, Aphrodite. However that go, you understand? But Janus is strictly a Roman deity. Okay, he's strictly a Roman deity. And he became more profound than all other deities. So he was termed the father of all the gods. Then you got Saturn, okay? You got Saturn, okay? Because in the month of January, the planet for January is Saturn. Okay, this is the alignment of the European. I don't have no respect for that. But the world is configured to this way of thinking. So I'm addressing the deities that are, the energy that moves in this time period for the European. You see what I'm saying? And being that this is a new year for the white man. Because, after what we call the fall, and I'm going to get into this. Okay, what is the fall? What is the term fall? It's the fall of the sun. That's what fall is. It's the fall of the sun. So after the fall of the sun for the European, this was a dark time. You see what I'm saying? It got cold. You understand? It's snowing all the time. You see what I'm saying? A lot of their peoples was dying in that cold. You understand? That's why fire is one of the major deities of the white man. Fire. Okay, not the sun, fire. He's still not a child of the sun, even though in that Yule, because it's cold, you understand what I'm saying? They pray for the sun to come back. Even though it's gonna burn their ass up when they get there, you understand what I'm saying? They pray for the sun to come back. You know what I'm saying? So this is what when you got December 21st, which is the shortest day of the year. And then you got the 22nd, the 23rd, the 24th, where it stays stagnant. Yeah, it stays stagnant at its lowest of the whole year. It's mostly dark for that day. It's mostly dark for that whole season. So they praying for the sun. So when the 25th came and you see now the sun is starting to move upward. Okay? It's starting to move upward. And so for the European, that's when he started his new year. Okay? That's when he started his new year. But what I'm going to bring up, and I'm about to go into the slides in two minutes. Africa. Matter of fact, let me go on in here. Let me go on in here. I needed to warm y'all up, though. Let me go on into here. Address this. So y'all can see exactly what I'm talking about. So this, you know, for all you Wiccan, pagan niggas, you know, some of you niggas want to be Aboriginal Black Indians. Some of you niggas want to be witches. You know, that's where you get the word, you know, rooted in Wiccan. You got to the right what they call the wheel, the Yule, which is the wheel. Okay, and the goddess Friday, which you know known as Frigga or Freya, she spins the wheel, and she creates the clouds with that wheel. Okay, she's the goddess of atmosphere and a whole lot of other gods. She was the counterpart of Venus. She was the counterpart of Venus, which is the day Friday. Okay, and so if you got what they call that a wreath, if you got a Christmas wreath, which is a feminine symbol, which I'll get into a couple of days from now. I won't get into that today. You see what I'm saying? It's symbolic of the wheel. Now on that wheel, you got all the Wiccan holidays, all the pagan holidays. And when we speak of pagan, you're talking of Pan, which is the goat. That's the worship of the goat. You're going to see that that is like the dominant zoo type of the European. You know, I think the goat is even more worshiped than the dog. Okay, I'm just going to be 100. So you understand what I'm saying? We also see that even though January is named after Janus, you know, if you born between December 22nd to something like January, I don't know, 21st, something like, which I'll get into, you a Capricorn. Now, Capri means goat. Okay, that means goat. That's why they got to have fish, have goat. You understand? Then that's the worship of Pan, which we're going to get off into. So if you're a pagan, you are a worshiper of Pan. And that's why we don't use the term Pan-African. You know what I'm saying? Some of you motherfuckers say back when the continents was together, it was called Pangea. You don't understand that rooted in that is the demonic deity from Greece and Rome, Pan. In Rome, he was called Phanus. Phanus. Okay? In Greece, he was called Pan. So that's where you get Pangea. That's where you get pandemonium. That's where you get panic. So you hear the root of that. You hear the root of that. You see what I'm saying? So when you think of Capricorn, you understand what I'm saying? You thinking of that demonic goat worshiping people, okay? We cannot be a part of no shit like that. You got to watch some of the information that come out of your mouth. Everybody. You got to go to the root of it. Some, you know, like we knew that something was in nigger that made us, because we said it so much. You understand what I'm saying? That reached down into us. So we had to go do research and found out it was being said all over the planet before a white man even came out the cave. But because some of you niggas start everything with the cracker, you say, well, somehow maybe we, you know, we flipped it and whoop-de-whoop, you would do anything to discredit your own people. Okay? So we understand that now we have Janus, which is the god of yesteryear and this and the present year. Okay, you're gonna see the two faces. You're gonna see that it's also a time for the worship of Pan. It's also the time for the worship of Saturn. You understand what I'm saying? The Capricorn being in December and January. And so you got Saturnalia that was in December. You understand what I'm saying? And you'll see that was a wicked holiday that set the precedent for all other holidays that we practice today. Every holiday that is practiced today is rooted in Saturnalia. Spring break, all that freaky shit that go on, and dressing up in masses and giving, all of the negative, the intoxicants, okay? Even at Santa, the intoxicants, when you get drunk and they raping, and the same thing. They not only raping women, they raping men, and they raping children. This is historical fact. So when you go down to Freaknik, even back when it was Freaknik going on for blacks down in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? They had to shut it down because niggas was down there freaking and neeking and raping and, and disrespecting and doing all the sexual deviance that goes along with Saturnalia. Okay, even the dressing up in masks. Many people think that that's just something that goes on around the time of Halloween, which it does not. It's prominent in all European holidays. Now, what you're looking at here, right here, is the northern and southern hemisphere. A lot of people don't understand that there are two shortest days of the year. It's not just one shortest day of the year. A lot of people say December 21st is the shortest day of the year, but you got to understand that when it's the winter solstice, which is December 21st, in the southern hemisphere, that's why you got to remember, you got to be balanced. We are African people. We pop, we charted the whole globe. You talking about the people who believe that they would sell off the side of the damn planet. You understand? Because they hadn't been around. They hadn't went nowhere but 2 steps from the damn cave. So December 21st in the southern hemisphere is quote unquote the summer solstice. Okay? And then when you have the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, if I'm not mistaken, which is June 21st, that's the so-called, and it's not winter in the southern hemisphere. It's more like the rainy season. There is no winter in Africa. So right there, we trapped in the Europeans' frame. We like a damn genie in a lamp. We've been trapped in the lamp to thinking that, just because we on the 364 and 1/4 cycle, revolution of the earth around the sun, not all continents have the same seasons. So there's a wheel inside of a wheel, inside of a wheel, inside of a wheel. There's many wheels inside of the 300, which is the first wheel. As long as you stay on the 364 and 1/4 day schedule of the earth revolution around the sun, any day could be your new year. The new year is based on a people's agricultural cycle. And Africa has a different agricultural cycle. Okay, in Africa, in the Nile, particularly, the new year started with the rise of Sirius, okay, which is somewhere around, if I'm not mistaken, June, May, June, somewhere in that, because when the star Sirius would rise, it wouldn't be long before the flood of the river would come. And that's ironic that that star is aligned to the Nile River. So most of the time, holidays is arbitrary to the culture of the people. So by the Romans and the European dominating the world, you got motherfuckers in the southern hemisphere that still practice the new year of the Gregorian calendar as if they in the north. You understand? Or they, being trapped in the European, as a genie being trapped in the lamp, we trapped in the Europeans' lamp. And that's going to go back again to Saturn. You understand, when we deal with this calendar, that, in depth, because he's Father Time. Okay, when you look at Saturn, you know, with the sickle, you understand he's also Cronus in Greek mythology, who ate his children. So when you looking at Father Time and you looking at the baby New Year, which is Bacchus, you understand what I'm saying? You see that the European, under the satanistic frame of thinking, is controlling time. He's Father Time. Okay, he's also the ghost of Christmas future. He's the ghost of Christmas future. If you ever looked at a Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens, and you watch that shit, Ebenezer Scrooge, and after you see the ghost of Christmas future, you will see that that's Saturn, that's Cronus. Okay, he's a hooded figure with a sickle. He's the Grim Reaper. Okay, and so once you understand he's all of those attributes and he controls time, that lets you know right there, you ain't got a motherfucking thing coming. Your whole frame of thinking is controlled by a Saturnistic Satan. And when you say Saturn, you say Satan. That's an anagram. You move a couple of words around, a couple of letters around, but it means the same thing. So Satan is an anagram for Saturn, okay? And Santa is an anagram for Satan. So you see Saturn, Satan, and Santa are all of the same origin, okay? And so when you're dealing with African people, we dominated the whole globe in the sense that we charted the planet. And as we charted the oceans, and as we charted the oceans, we also charted the stars. We charted, you got a northern hemisphere, you got the northern sky, and you got the southern sky. If you go below the equator, it's just stars that you cannot see in the north. That's impossible, okay? So when you talk about the Milky Way, let me move up. You see, when you talk about the Milky Way, that system is seen in the southern hemisphere. Okay, it's easily visible in the southern hemisphere. Sirius and Orion. Let me get that correct. I know Sirius is in the southern hemisphere. Orion is right on the what you call the astrological equator. Okay, but the majority of the stars is in the southern hemisphere. So there's no way you gonna tell me that no European charted the damn stars when the majority of the visible stars in the sky are, I'm talking about with the naked eye, is visibly seen in the southern hemisphere. That's below the equator. The white man just got below the fucking equator in the 1800s. Okay? Mostly all that information they got, Galileo, Copernicus, he got from the Moors, which they got from West Africa, the Dogon, which they got from Egypt, which the Egyptians got from hundreds of thousands of the Nile Valley Africans all the way to the equator, from Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, the Congo. You understand? Bringing, so you got astronomical scientists in both hemispheres. Matter of fact, all four hemispheres. Okay, so when you're looking at this, you got to understand what I'm talking about, because you're studying the stars basically off of these hemispheres. If you go into the Western hemisphere, if you go too far west, it's only stars that you're going to be able to see in that hemisphere. If you go too far east, it's going to only be stars that you can see in that part of the hemisphere. So in order to say you done mastered astronomy, the constellations that can be visibly seen on this planet, you got to be doing scientific astronomical research in all hemispheres. When you look at Africa, and this is very interesting, that Africa is the only continent that has major landmass in all hemispheres. the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere, the western hemisphere, and the eastern hemisphere. Here we go. And I tried to put all the nations that's in the southern hemisphere. I'm gonna get to it later. It's something that I'm building up. So you see right there the equator. You see it's at 0 degrees, and you see how much land mass Africa has. You understand, in the north, how much land mass Africa has in the south. Now, this is what I'm saying. When you go to the equator, we're talking about this calendar now to show you who created the 364 and 1/4 day calendar and charted the constellations as we know it today. Okay? It was the African. The European just crawled out of the fucking cave, and I must say that. Just maybe a couple hundred years ago, Africa had major learning institutions located in all hemispheres, calculating and recording the stars for hundreds of thousands of years. So if you go below the equator and you look at all the stars that's below the equator, unless you was below it, you would not be able to see those stars. It's impossible. So the Milky Way is in the southern sky. Okay, that's, you know what I'm saying? Sirius, Orion, all of those stars are in the southern sky, are more easily visible. Even this cross, what's that cross they talking about? The Southern Cross. And they say the sun died, even that star constellation. The Southern Cross is in the southern sky. So when that white boy did Zygots and he showed the sun, and everybody uses that, but they don't tell you that the Southern Cross is in the southern sky, and ain't no way no fucking Roman or Greek or fucking Mesopotamia or none of that was in a position based on where they located on this planet to be able to chart the southern sky. Okay, so now we looking at how much land mass, because Africa is massive. I did this myself. I calculated from Cape Town to Alexandria. That's the furthest north that I could get and the furthest south that I could get. And so that's 6,332 miles. Okay? That's 6,332 miles. Now, from Nairobi, which is starting close to the equator, to Cape Town, is 3,252 miles. That's how much land mass from longitude aspect that we have in the southern hemisphere. And then when you go from Kampala, I think there's, if I'm not mistaken, Kampala is that Uganda? I got to get that correct. I think it's Uganda. Kampala, okay, to Alexandria is 3,264 miles. So Africa got about the same amount of land mass. You understand? Longitude, from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere, about the same amount of land mass. Okay, and then when you're talking about the western hemisphere, I put this in here so y'all can get an understanding of what I'm talking about. Now, the western hemisphere, you see right there at 0 degrees longitude, right there, which, the European did that, Greenwich in Britain, that's where it's at. So you talking about, this is what decides what's west and what's east. So when you're talking about how much land mass and what major institutions of learning we had in the Western Hemisphere. You had Mali with the Dogon, you had Timbuktu, you had Ghana, you know what I'm saying? The great empire, you had the Moors who come up out of West Africa, Timbuktu. You had Carthage, you understand, which even though, the capital was in modern day Libya, okay, it extended all the way to the furthest end of where today is Morocco into Spain. So you had a lot of great intellectual African empires that was doing research, astronomical research in the West, okay? And that's still in the Northern Hemisphere, that's Northwest. And then you got Northeast, you had Egypt, you had Nubia, you had Aksum, you had Punt, and then you go down into the Southeast, you had Zimbabwe, you had the Twa, who mastered the planet, went all over the planet. And it's documented. I showed you where they had went into America. You see them as the Negritos, okay? And then you even see them in Asia to show you that they went around. So we mastered all hemispheres. So I want to be clear about that. I'm going to come out of this to let y'all know that. Let me come over here to this. Why am I telling y'all that? Where's our damn holiday? We mastered the goddamn wheel, what they call the wheel. And I'm gonna show you. Oh, let me come up here to show y'all. Let me go over here. So there is nowhere where you could go in the BC period and find a calendar. This is on the walls of ancient Egypt. Okay, I saw this for myself. Okay, the Egyptians created the 365-day solar calendar, which was plagiarized by the Romans and the Catholics. Now you can see the numbers next to the sun, okay, to let you know this is a sun-centered galaxy. And the number is how many days. You see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It goes all the way up to 30, and then it started over. They had 3 seasons: the flood season, the planting season, and the harvest season. Okay? And so you have 12 days, 12 months of 30 days. And at the end of those 12 months, they had a 13th day with 5 days in it, which was sacred to the deities: Osiris, Isis, Horus the Elder, Set, and Nephthys. These are the days where those 5 gods were said to be born. So if in that you want to say these are holy days for us, and we want to create a holiday around that, then we could say that. But what must be understood, there is no winter in Africa. So though you got the 365-day wheel, okay, that's what the wheel is, okay? There are wheels inside of that wheel, an agricultural wheel, because everybody don't have the same seasons. You see what I'm saying? So that 364 and 1/4 day calendar was taken all around the world by the Africans, but they had to readjust the seasons because it's not the same seasons. So if there's not the same seasons, how the fuck is we gonna have the same holiday? Okay? The greatest civilization that ever existed operated on this calendar, which goes back to 4,126 years before the Common Era. That's the earliest date that can be proven beyond any reasonable doubt based on this African calendar. And we know they didn't create it on that day, that it had to be some development before then. So if you double it and say, well, at least it took at least double that to do the goddamn, the documentation and the development, the trial and error, that would take you back damn near to 10,000 damn BC. And you need at least 3 times around to get a pattern. So if you did it like that, that's going to take you damn near, you understand, to 13, 14,000 years. And so we got to be reasonable. So this is the calendar, again, that if you go to Egypt, and you should go immediately if you can, and in the at the temple of Dendera, which is sacred to the goddess Heru, you will see, now this is colored in, but if you go to the second floor of that temple, it's a chapel in the top of that temple dedicated to the goddess. You will see the calendar right here in the ceiling, okay? And I could break this down for you easily. You understand what I'm saying? You can even still see the shortest, and all of that is in there. You understand? You can see the equinoxes and the solstices. You see what I'm saying? Because you see that Heru, you know, the double Heru at the top, the bottom, and on the two west and east, that's showing you the cross, which they call, you know, the wheel. That's the cross inside of the circle. And it's right there. You will see that is one, you count the goddesses. You got 1, 2, 3, count the Herus. I'm counting the goddesses and the Herus. Do I got it up there? I don't, but let me put it in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if you count the Herus and you count the goddesses, that's 12. That represent the hours. I mean, not the hours, but the months. That represent the months. Okay? If you count the arms of the 12, that's 24. That represents the hours of a day. You see what I'm saying? And then if you count the arms at the top, that's 12, representing 12 hours of night. And then and if you count the arms at the bottom, that's 12, representing the 12 hours of day and night. You see what I'm saying? So all of that. Let me keep moving. Today, the Roman Catholic Church controls the wheel through the Gregorian calendar, which was introduced in 1582. Now, a lot of people gonna say that this is the best calendar. How the fuck is this the best calendar and the greatest civilization that ever existed operated on a calendar, African calendar that existed damn near 10,000, 15,000 years before Gregorian ass was even born? See, this is how they trap you. And most of the world today is trapped. He's Cronus. He's Father Time today. Because you got nations that don't, practicing Christmas. Ain't even no damn winter in that damn landmass. And they practicing all of the European holidays. And those holidays is based on his own frame of reference. It's based on his agricultural experiences, his seasonal experiences, which most people do not have. Okay? It done snowed in Egypt 2 times in the last 150 years. Okay? It done snowed in South Africa 22 times in the last 150 years, 130 years. Okay? So the Gregorian calendar is an update to the Julian calendar, which he borrowed from Egypt. Okay, they didn't even have no no names to the days. They just put A, B, C, D, and it was 8. I think the Julian calendar had 8, if I'm not mistaken, 8 days, 8 to 10 days. I got to get it. It was 8 days. Julius Caesar borrowed the 360-day calendar from Egypt in 46 BC. He got it from Cleopatra. See what I'm saying? So they got everything today. They got it from ancient Egypt. Julius Caesar got it from Cleopatra. And he introduced it into Rome. Okay? He introduced his own calendar, which had 8 days in a week, and used letters to identify the day. Okay? Now, when the Romans conquered Persia, see, whatever they conquered, they co-opt the people they conquered. So they readjusted the calendar to the Persian 7 days. And as you can see, the first day of the week was Saturn. Okay, they started the first day with Saturn. Then the second day was Sunday. So Saturday was the first day, the second day was Sunday, and the third day was Monday. So you see how all this shit is, you know, if you don't understand that they've been playing with this shit down through the motherfucking, you know, and it's based on who conquer who. It ain't based on no astronomical nothing. This is based on this man wants to dominate time. He wants to dominate your frame of reference, okay? And so the last day was Friday, okay, which was Venus, Okay, let's move on. Now, I want to come to this wheel. We got to come to this wheel real quick. I don't want to get off into that right now. So when you go into the what they call the hieroglyphs, to some of y'all know it as the Medu Neter, you will see that the symbol, which was known for the sun, which some people call Ra, was the wheel. Now, if you go back to the first one where I showed you with the Herus and the God, you will see the cross in there. You see what I'm saying? Them people have taken, and this is when you look at Ra, you look at the symbol of Ra, this is the beginning of all science. This is the beginning of science, okay? This is how I know how people then charted, you know, not only the damn revolution of the earth around the sun, but the sun even around the greatest star that it's making a revolution around, okay? So the so-called Yule wheel is a plagiarized creation taken from the original wheel from Egypt. So to all you wicked niggas that try to throw the fact that maybe the pagan had, you know, its own particular seasonal wheel before the Christians, well, let me tell you that the 364 day and 1/4 day calendar was created in Egypt, and the wheel that you claiming is yours is actually an African wheel. You lying. You just want to be a witch. You just want to be wicked, and you want to throw that up in the Christian face, but I'm going to throw it up in your face that you can't create it twice, okay? The Africans did the research. Just like I said with the pyramid. You can't just up and fall into no 300. You got to calculate that, okay? You got to calculate that. You understand what I'm saying? And you can see the Romans was fucking up until goddamn the modern times. They was fucking up. They just got a fairly, and they still cannot understand the greater revolution. See, that's why it's getting hot on this motherfucker, and people blaming the shit on, well, the polar caps and motherfucking posted melt. It's because you ain't been around the great year. You ain't been around the 25,000 year where the sun is revolving just like the earth is revolving. The sun is also revolving around a greater star. You understand what I'm saying? That's why we know of many other planets and other stars that the white man didn't know about until just recent when he got the giant telescope. The Dogon knew about Sirius. The Egyptians knew about Sirius B, which the white man only just saw in the 1900s when he got a telescope. The Dogon admitted that they got their knowledge from ancient Egypt. That's because we've been around the greater year. And if you're going around a circle, you understand that, you know, the front can become the back, and the back can become the front if you're going around that wheel. So today we might be in front of Sirius A, and we cannot see Sirius B because it's the Sirius A is so bright you can't see it. You understand? But if you're going around the great wheel of the sun around its greatest star, the front will become the back, and the back will become the front, and Sirius B at that time will be in the front. I want to talk to, wait a minute. Let me come out of that. Let me work with y'all. Let me work with y'all. Let me come out of that. Let me come out of that. So you understand what I'm saying. Let me work out. Let me work out. Let me draw a circle. I should have put, but that's all right. You know what? I want to get that right. Damn, I need another piece of paper. I'll use this. I'll use it. I want to draw this so y'all can see this. I'll use this. Okay. Now I know this backwards and shit. So this is Earth. Okay, this is Earth. Now today, visually, this is Sirius A. It's in the front. Okay, but it's so bright you can't see Sirius B. But as the sun goes around its cycle, you see what I'm saying? It'll be a time when the Earth is here and not here. You see what I'm saying? And when the Earth get here, Sirius B will be in the front. You see what I'm saying? We going around so many times. That just like the halves. I'm trying because I can't do it good. That's just like the half. That's just like the southern and the. Y'all got to understand that. And if when you start getting this science down, you will see what the fuck I'm saying. You got the northern hemisphere and you got the southern hemisphere. You got the Earth's revolution around the sun and you got the sun's revolution around its greater sun. And as the sun moves around its greater sun, the Earth, and now, if say for instance, this is the southern hemisphere, it will be in the northern hemisphere. And where Sirius A is in the front today, when it might be 12,000 years, when the Earth is here, where Sirius B will be in the front, we done been in both cosmological hemispheres, astronomical hemispheres on the great year, taking 25,000 years, and we saw it with the visible eye. So those stars that we can't see today, we'll be able to see in 12,000 years. See, only the Africans could have done that. See, they didn't because we've been calculating that long. That's facts. I want to talk to y'all today. We've been calculating. So you got to that's why when you go to the Egyptian pyramid temple, what's in front of the temple? Got two obelisks, right? That's what it represents, the polarity. And sometimes they do flip. Okay, sometimes they do flip. So you can't think like you just in the northern hemisphere. See, that's why the white man, they say that motherfucker only use one side of his brain, which is no side. That's the side he used, no side of his brain. You see what I'm saying? If you think on one side of your if you think just in the northern hemisphere, some people look up in the northern hemisphere and they think that's all the constellations, that's all the stars. Not knowing when you go to the south, it's a whole nother collection of stars. You understand what I'm saying? So now that's what you got to understand, that as the sun moves and the earth is going around the sun, you know what I'm saying? And the sun moves to the northern hemisphere, the earth will move into the northern hemisphere, and Sirius B at that time will be in the front. And you will be able to see Sirius B with the naked eye. And then come right back around 12,000 years from now, and Sirius A will again be in the front. That's how they knew that star was there, because we've been astronomically calculating the star for that long. Okay, so you understand what I'm saying? So we can get out of this white man frame of thinking. You got to expand your thinking. And that's why a lot of shit is happening on this earth. You understand that people just don't understand. You understand what I'm saying? It's getting hotter. You understand? Because this earth is moving closer to the sun, and the sun, on this revolution, is periods where the earth is closest to the sun. That's facts. That's why I get hotter. You understand what I'm saying? And as the sun moves closer to its sun, it's going to get hotter. You understand what I'm saying? And if you haven't been through these thousands and thousands that's why they burnt so much of our shit. And that was so devastating. Everywhere they go, they burn it. Okay? And then we lose hundreds of thousands of years of research. You understand what I'm saying? Let me get back. Y'all understand what I'm saying out there? Did you hear what I just said about that? Draw a circle, just like I showed you the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, and what you're doing, just like you see the revolution of the earth around the sun, you have to also understand that the sun is also moving around its revolutionary, its sun, its greater sun. And as the sun moves from its southern hemisphere to its northern hemisphere, the earth will be in a position to see stars in the northern hemisphere that it would not be able to see if it was in the southern hemisphere. It's just that simple, family. It's just that simple. And it's shocking to them how long we've been doing these calculations, and they do not want to admit to it. They do not want to admit to that. So how is you stuck in a bottle like a genie, fucking practicing holiday? Holidays are arbitrary to a people's culture. You can create it long as you stay on the 364 and 1/4 day. That's facts. That's mathematical, astronomical facts. So wherever you at on the planet, that's a fact that just don't change. But because the continents have different seasons, it's a wheel inside of a wheel inside of a wheel. It's more than one calendar. You got the solar calendar, you got the lunar calendar, you got the stellar calendar, because the Egyptians started their calendar with the rising of Sirius. That's a star. That's a stellar calendar. Then you had an agricultural calendar where, you had to know when to plant, you had to know when to harvest, you had to know when the flood was coming. So that's your agricultural. So you got more than one calendar. And so, like I say, holidays are arbitrary to where people stay at. And so why is it that a new year is started in the dead of winter? And like I told people, why is it that the majority of the holidays, is after the fall of the sun? Look at that. This is going to be a 4-day extravaganza because I'm just getting warmed up. Now that I'm warmed up, I won't have to come back to this information, but I have to warm you up before I go off into the other shit, because it ain't going to make no sense to you if I don't. You see what I'm saying? Why is it that all of the white man holidays is after the fall of the sun? Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, New Year's, even Valentine's Day. All of that is in fall and winter. Okay? You got that one holiday for spring, which is Easter, but they have no major holidays in the summer. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. If I'm lying, goddammit, come back and get with me. They have no major holidays in the summer. Okay? And that show you. And so we so confused being in the bottle, we want to ride the white man so much that we would tag along on Yule, which they call Christmas. That's Saturnalia and Yule. That's a European time of year because there is no winter in Africa. So why would you attach Kwanzaa to Yule and Saturnalia, which they call Christmas? And a lot of people say we're going to put Jesus was never in Saturnalia or Yule. All of that shit, the tree, I won't do that today. I'm just going to stay on New Year's and the deities. And then tomorrow, it's going to lead one right into the other. I might hit a little Christmas today, but it one lead right into the other. So again, when you think of harvesting in Africa, and there's no, why would you put a harvest holiday in the dead of winter when ain't shit growing outside? You know, that show you we just, you know, we got to do better than that. Let me get back to the topic at hand. Let me get back to the topic at hand. Where was I? Right here. I'm gonna start right there. Working out today, y'all. So again, when you talking about all the holidays that's in winter, now winter starts December 21st, it ends March 20th. Okay? That's winter. So within that period, you got Christmas, you got Valentine's Day, you got New Year's, you got Mardi Gras. You understand? I got to put that up in there. All of that shit is in winter. Mardi Gras is damn, if I'm not mistaken, it depends on when Mardi Gras, because that's 40. Yeah, it's in February. It is. It's in February. Okay? And then you autumn, which is fall of the sun, you got Thanksgiving and you got Halloween. And so now in spring you got the major holiday is Easter. Okay, that's the major holiday. You got Mother's Day and Father's Day. That's arbitrary. All of that is arbitrary. I'm talking about the main holidays of the year: Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas. All of that is in the cold. Okay, even shit for some people up north, shit, Easter might be cold, be 100. If that shit falling anywhere in March, shit, it might be cold for Easter. So all of that show you how, even though you say, oh, this is spring based on a month, that might not be the season. The season, the seasonal wheel might then change. So you have to, if you don't know the greater sciences and you ain't been around the great year, and you ain't done at least 25,000, 50,000 years of astronomical, then you will be thinking you in spring and goddamn it, it's still feeling like winter. And that's what that's what the small mind of the European just don't understand. Okay, so now this is supposed to be the Yule wheel. And when you look at the symbol of Ra, you already know that's what it is. You can put that cross in there. They said it because, you know, again, they worship fire. You know, it's in the cold. They worship that damn fireplace. The Yule log, the tree. They worship all of that. When you living in the cold, fire is your God. Even when you go to Greece, you got the eternal flame, okay, that is guarded by the goddess Hester. Okay, and it's her responsibility to keep that fire lit. Even when they have the Olympics, they got to keep that fire lit. They say they keep it lit, and then when the next 4 years, they go light it from the old fire and go down there and light the torch again and take it to the next cauldron or the new Olympia and light that cauldron. But when they light that cauldron, they supposed to be lighting that cauldron from the fire of the last year. It stay lit because you in a cold environment. And so you know, you had a very important responsibility if it was your job to keep that fire lit. If you let that fire, especially around Yule, okay, the 21st of December, that fire had to stay lit all night symbolically. You couldn't let it go out because if you did, demons would come down the hearth. So they keep that fire lit to keep the demons out. And that's going to go and play a major part on who Santa Claus is. Because how in the hell can a man come down a chimney on fire and not get burned unless he's a deity? And then this motherfucker turned into Superman and shoot. A lot of people don't understand that he's a god. He's a god. So the Yule wheel, which is the solar wheel, is a plagiarized African calendar that has existed both to 15,000. We ain't gonna even put it a damn date on it, because when we do the logical understanding of that, they couldn't damn just create a damn calendar in one day. So if the oldest day is 4,126 years BC, they at least had to have at least 2 times that amount to do the research, would take it to damn 12,000 BC. That's just being logical. Okay, that's just being logical. Okay, before any European calendar. Okay, so we know that no other people worship the sun and venerated the sun the way that we do. So when you look at God, when you start seeing all these gods with halos behind their head, that's when you anthropomorphize a cosmological entity. Heru is also in human form, but he's also in solar form. Osiris is also a part of the sun. And so Osiris was the first man god who was depicted as being the son of the sun. He was the son of the sun. He was the sun on earth. He was the sun in the flesh. He was the Sirach, son of the sun. Okay? And so when you put that wheel, what you call the Yule wheel, so I don't understand how no black woman calling herself a witch, talking and putting this wheel up, don't know about the one that came from our own people that's damn near 15,000 years older than the damn wheel of the Wiccan. I don't understand that. You lost me, sister. You lost me, brother. Some crazy coon niggas out there that want to be male witches too. They don't want to be African. They don't know about that. There's no difference in this wheel. Only the only thing is that they got their own seasonal wheel inside the 300. So they got their own season. Again, the 24 arms representing the hours of the day, the 12 gods and goddesses represent the months of the year, 12 up, 12 down, represent 12 hours a night, 12 hours a day. Okay? And again, we was hitting on the old map. And if you go inside of that, you will see the 4. You see, if you see where the head is in the middle, you will see 4 zoo types. And I'll get into that later. You will see the 4. You see 2 up top, 2 at the bottom. Them represents the equinoxes and the solstices. That's all it is. That's all. You see the 2 in the going through the middle, which represent the equinoxes. Okay, and so that's their own particular wheel. It is no different. It's no different. So this is the African seasonal calendar. The flood period, the growing period, and the harvest period. Now, let me come out of here. I'm ready to work out now. I'm ready to work out now. I'm ready to work out now. So we're talking about here the wicked witches of Greek and Roman mythology, which they call the Fates. You see what I'm saying? Which they call the Norns in the Nordic persuasion, which they are the controllers of the wheel. And they determine the fate of everybody on the planet. And they say when they got the phrase to throw a nigga a lifeline. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it means. Now, if these witches, if these crazy crackers are in control of the wheel, then that lets you know why you're in the predicament of you're in today. You have to create a liberational wheel. You got to create a wheel of freedom. You got to deify and make holy those ancestors, those seasons that is going to empower you to throw the shackles of slavery off of your back. Throw the shackles of the oppressor. You can't come in here talking about the days of the week in the Nordic persuasion, calling on Thor and Wednesday for Woden and Friday for Frigra and Tuesday for Tyr, all four Roman Nordic Viking deities. And I'm going to get on that. And so under the Cronus imperialistic colonization of time, most people are imprisoned to holidays, planetary interpretations, deities, and days totally alien to their own culture. Most of the time today is based on you getting your ass up and going to that plantation to work for that white man. That's why when you go in there, you hit your time clock, nigga. You hit your time clock to let that white man know you on his cycle, okay? And so again, this is Father Time, which is Saturn, which is Cronus, and the planet Saturn. A lot of people, talk about, so what is the energy of the planet Saturn? Okay? And you see Saturn is also Satyr, okay, which is half goat, half man, which is a freaky sexual deviant deity, Pan. Okay, Pan was the king of the Satyr. Okay, and you see Saturn and Satyr. Okay, you see what he is. Okay, and you see him always blowing that flute, which you also see in the Pied Piper. And so you see the demonic energy. Okay, again, Pan was the grandson of Saturn. He was the grandson of Cronus, who ate his children. Now, a demonic deity that ate his own, and not only did he eat his own children, he killed his own father. So this motherfucker was off the chain. This is the energy that is in that planet. I don't ascribe to none of the planets being called by nothing Greek or Roman, because again, we was the first ones that charted the stars. And when you go to ancient Egypt, they never called these planets by no Greco-Roman names, because the Greco-Roman civilization didn't even exist at the goddamn time. You niggas is trapped in a bottle. You is trapped just like the genie in the lamp. So if you explain this information without explaining the negative destructive energy that goes into these deities, then I don't respect that. I got to say it just like that. You see what I'm saying? Here he is. This is Saturn. This is Cronus. And you see him with the sickle murdering his children. Out of all the children that survived was Zeus, okay? Which his mama hid him, on the island of Crete. We'll get into that. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get back to Saturn. But just let you know that that's the deity, that's the planet that's sacred to the month of January, okay, which is also named after a deity, Janus. Okay, so we're dealing with Father Time, Saturn. We're gonna be dealing with Pan, that freaky Satyr, okay, Satyr, Saturn, okay, a Saturn, which is Capricorn. So I ain't got nothing to do with even though I'm born in what they call the month of January, I'm not no motherfucking Capricorn. I'm not none of that. Nigga. I'm the fire of the sun, and that's all I'm gonna be. You understand what I'm saying? If you talking about you a Capricorn, nigga, you a goat worshiper, you a homosexual. Pan was a homosexual. Matter of fact, all the Greco-Roman gods were homosexual. And then when you talking about the baby of New Year, that's Bacchus, okay, which is the god of intoxicants, the god of wine. Now, how the fuck is a baby the god of wine? You got a baby, the god of love, okay? How the fuck is these babies, and you see that if you get the book 16 Crucified Saints, that Bacchus was also one of the 16 crucified. You see him in the form of a cross in the middle, okay? You see Janus in the back. And you can see that which the Romans took from Acre, which is the two twin lions that represent yesterday and tomorrow, with the present being the sun rising through the middle. Okay? You can see where they stole that and co-opted that. But don't think that is the same. A lot of people, oh, that's the same. No, it ain't the goddamn same. Okay? The white man got a whole different spirit, a whole different sick psychology that goes behind that. Okay? The fact that now when we dealing with this calendar, I must say that the Romans being egotistical and really not knowing the true calculations of the calendar, they move months around as they chose. If a Caesar thought that he was the greatest Caesar, he would take days out of one month and put it in his own month to make his month have more days than the next goddamn Caesar. That's why you got February with 28 days. When it came out of Africa, it was 30 days, 12 months, with a special month at the end of 5 days. Okay? So Julius Caesar, who created the Julian calendar from the African calendar, felt like he was the greatest pharaoh, the greatest Caesar, the greatest ruler of Rome, and he put an extra day in his month, okay, which caused July to go to 31 days. And then Augustus Caesar came right behind him, said, well, goddamn it, I'm just as great as he is. Let me put a day in my shit too. And so August got 31 days. Okay, but when the Roman calendar started, it only had 10 months. Okay, it started with March and it ended with December. Okay, with December being the 10th month. Okay, now look at this. Okay, now when you go to I'm going down to I'm gonna read it off. Though we think of September, October, November, and December as months 9, 10, 11, and 12, these months were 7, 8, 9, 10 on the ancient Roman calendar. This is how they got their names. Now, when you go to September, the word septem, S-P-T-E-M, is 7. Okay? It's 7. But in the calendar of the day, it's the 9th month. Right? It's the 9th month. It's 2 months out of goddamn sequence. October, which comes from octo, like octagon, means 8. But it's not the 8th month. It's the fucking 10th month. Then you go to November, Novum, N-O-V-E-M, Latin for 9. But it's not the 9th month. It's actually the 11th month. And then you come to December, which Decem, D-E-C-E-M, is 10, okay? But it's actually the 12th month. And after December, it was just a void till you come back around to March. So then they added January and February last. Okay, they added January and February last, but because they were so tired of scrambling the months up already, they just left September, October, November, and December the way it was. They just left it like that. So if you can't see, now, if you a teacher, and you say, for instance, you got some second graders or some third graders, and you write 7 on the board, S-E-V-E-N, and ask the student to come up there and put the number next to that. If you wrote 7, and they came up there and wrote the number 9, that shit would be wrong. Okay? If you wrote 8 and told the student to come up there and write the numeral for that number, and they went up there and wrote 10, that would be wrong. Okay? If you went up there and you put 9 on the board and say, come up there and write the numerical number up there for that, what I wrote up 9, and they came up there and put 11, that would be wrong. If you wrote Deacon or you wrote 10 up there and said, come up there and put the numerical number for that, for 10 on the board, and they went up there and wrote 12, that shit would be wrong. So I can't see how in the hell you niggas don't see that, goddamn it, you niggas is in a madhouse of just superstition and not really astronomical correctness based on your own ancestral calculations. Nigga, you got to quit following behind the people that do not know where they going. God damn. So you looking at Janus. Now this is, when we look at Acker, a lot of people say, oh, that's the same. No, it ain't. Here it is. This is Two-Face from Batman. That's who it is. An ugly motherfucker and a more ugly motherfucker. Ain't no goodness in that motherfucker. And then when you talking about Acker, you're talking about scientific calculations. You understand? Here you talking about personalities. You understand what I'm saying? And you can see that Janus is all because he's also gate. You know, one of his symbols is the gate. He got the key. And so this is where Peter come from as the gatekeeper. See, the Romans in them is slick in converting Roman deities over into so-called Christian deities. I'm gonna show you goddamn Moses in the Vatican City in St. Peter's Basilica, and you going, goddamn, he ain't nothing but pain. Now, a lot of y'all, if y'all don't know of Krampus, this is another goat god. See how they cannot give up the goat worship. Capricorn, even god damn it, what's that other word I'm looking for? The cornucopia that they use during Thanksgiving. I will not do, but that cornucopia, that's goat. That's a goat. That's a goat horn. See, but they fooling niggas. They got that goat worship in every fucking thing that they do. So when you talk about Krampus, you see that he's chained, but Krampus is the other side of the coin. Krampus is actually the shadow of Santa Claus. He's the shadow of, those are two sides of the same damn coin. Let me move out of this. Okay, so when you see Krampus, he's commanded to do what he's doing by Santa Claus. All the kids that's bad, your ass was chained and carried off into slavery. You understand? Many of their parents was sitting there watching this shit. See, that's the Saturnalian worship. See how they eat their babies. You don't see this shit. So when you say you a Capricorn and you know, and you don't understand the energies that's moving at this time tonight, you niggas going out to New York. How we doing out there, y'all? How we doing out there, family? Let me check. Give me some feedback. Okay, let me know I'm good out there. All right, that's what I'm, thank you, family. I just wanted to touch on that. Let me get some water. Let me get some water, family. God damn, it's already 6. I thought I was only going to go an hour and a half. I'm going to go a little bit more. Hold on, family. Let me shut my shades and shit. It done got dark and shit. You know the beast is out here. You know the beast is out here. You know the beast is out here. That's why they act all vicious around these fucking times. Let me get some water, y'all. And I'm gonna jump right back in. I'm gonna go. Now this gonna be a week. It's gonna be damn near 4 days that I'm gonna continue to go, down this, and then I'll move on to something else. It's time for us to touch back down on our Nile Valley teaching in a heavy way. So I'm most definitely gonna get back to the Nile Valley. Get back to that military geography and get that blueprint that we need to be working on. Because even though I teach history, I teach political blueprint. I teach that gas. You understand? From the Seti doctrine, family, on how we could get this shit together. I'm showing y'all the best that I know how. I'm giving y'all all the statistics. You know what I'm saying? On what the future is looking like. And it's looking real bright for our people. And we got to defend what, they see us growing like that. So, we got to be aware of all the biological shit that could be happening around these times. Okay, let me go back in. All right. All right. You get it together. I got to get my throat. Get some water on me. All right. So now what happened is Father Time, Cronus Saturn, is Father Christmas. Okay? Odin, which is the king of the Nordic gods or the Viking gods, hear me out, is Father of Yule. Okay? Now, in this instant, when they say Father, that means God. Y'all got to listen to key word. And when you talk about Cronus, in the root, that's why he's Father Time, Cronus, chronology. Okay? Even crown comes out of Cronus. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to look at the root of these words. Now, when you look to the right, some of y'all might think that that's Santa Claus. That's not Santa Claus. That's Father Christmas. And Father Christmas was the European persuasion before Santa Claus. See, y'all got to understand that Santa Claus is the latest and the greatest. That's why we could prove hands down that Santa Claus is Odin. That Santa Claus is also Saturn. Let me go here right quick. Let me end this because I think I need to do this. I need to do this first, and then I'm gonna come right back. People got to understand, why is the days of the week named after Viking gods, Germanic Viking gods? Because English is a German language. People don't understand that. English is a German language. And y'all got to understand that the Vikings, along with the Romans, conquered Britain. Okay, y'all got to, I'm doing this for you so you can see. So when I say that Santa Claus is Odin, I'm not guessing that he's Odin. I know that he's Odin. The Viking has such an influence over England and Britain, you understand, to the point that the days of the week. Now, if you go into a Latin persuasion country, it's going to be named after the Roman deities. Like Friday is Venus. Okay? I think Tuesday is Mercury. I got it in there. But if you come into the Germanic nations, then you're going to get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Tuesday. 4 of the days of the week are named after Viking deities. Okay, again, because English is a Germanic language. The Vikings had such a control over Britain. Let me get into it. Okay, so again, we looking at Scandinavia. If you look at that's basically where the Vikings came from. Okay, but they came down there and conquered Britain and many of the other, especially off the coast. Especially off the coast. France, Germany, Iceland, all of that, the Vikings. And so, again, when you speak these words out of your mouth, you empowering these people. You're not calling on your ancestors' names. You're not calling on no African gods. You calling on Viking gods. You empowering the energy that destroyed your people. Okay, how do you think our ancestors feel? And you calling on the very deities that destroy so many African lives. And no other people got so many words of destruction in the goddamn vocabulary. Scandinavia, land of the scandalous. You can hear scandalous in Scandinavia. You got some German tribe called the Vandals, okay, for vandalizing, okay? Then you got the most vicious of the Viking warriors was called the Berserkers. This is where you get the word berserk from. Berserkers. Then you got Loki. If you watch Marvel Comics and you got the god Loki, where you get loke from, where you loke on a nigga, go loke on a nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's where the word term loke come from. Okay? And, a lot of people say even the word grim, 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 when you grim a nigga, or it's about to get grim, that's another name for Odin. Okay? Go look that up. That's when you say you grim, you basically like they got the brothers Grimm that wrote all them books and scary books. Brother Grimm. Okay, Grimm is Odin. That's his name. Go look that shit up. So a lot of the words in the English language, are, understanding are dramatic and are from the Vikings. Okay, so again, when you think about Santa's home in the North Pole, and you look at Scandinavia up under all that ice, we breaking it down. We don't believe that Santa Claus is fucking Odin. And he's also Thor, which is the son of Odin. He's a combination. These deities is a combination of a lot of deities. You understand what I'm saying? If you go in the Bible, it was one demon in there. And I think, I'm only using it in reference. Where Jesus asked the motherfucker, say, what is your name? And he says, my name is Legion, for we are many. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me say it to you again. The fake God, Jesus asking, he say, what is your name? It was a man possessed. And he said, Dad, what is your name? And he said, my name is Legion, for we are many. So you got to understand there are many demons inside of these concepts. These holidays is a combination of many satanic holidays. Let me keep it moving. So when you think about the North Pole, and you thinking about this is Santa Claus' home, you understand what I'm saying? We got to understand, we're not debating. They gonna lie to, wait a minute, let me come out. See what they gonna do to lie to you. A lot of time, and I'm gonna get to this, they gonna lie to you and say Santa Claus and and Father Christmas and Santa Claus. These is all variations of Saint Nicholas, who was a saint, and I don't give a fuck about that. That's some Catholic shit. Okay? A saint that supposedly giving gifts to children, this, that, and the third. And this was in the 4th century. And we know that. And so I goes and do the research. And you can go do it too. Looked it up. They said that there is no literature that has been found about this man during his own time. That all of the stories that been created about this so-called Saint Nicholas was created 200-300 years after he supposedly died. See, that's the trick bag. See, Santa Claus is olden. They created Saint Nicholas to fool you that Santa Claus came from out of and they did that with all of the holidays. Okay, whether it was Lupercalia, they say Saint Valentine. You understand? Then they go to Halloween, and it was Sam Hain or whatever and then they say, oh, that's Hallows Day or All Saints Day. So they create a saint. There is no Saint Nicholas. They don't have no chronicler of his time ever wrote about him. And that's the same as Jesus. And no chronicler, nobody of his own time ever wrote about him. That go with the Greek philosophers. No chronicler. So really, they created St. Nicholas to hide the fact that it was Odin all along. It was Thor all along. Okay, that's what they trying to hide the fact. So when you look at the similarities of fucking the supposed St. Nicholas and look at the similarity between Santa's Father Time and Odin, you gonna see that damn, it just line up that this is Odin. This ain't no motherfucking St. Nicholas, okay? Because St. Nicholas can't fly down no damn chimney. And not only do the motherfucker come down the chimney, I mean, the motherfucker turn into Superman and fly back up the mother. And he fat, okay? How you gonna do that without some superpowers? This ain't a man, this is a deity. And I ask anybody, where's the origin of this motherfucker's power coming? Because it ain't coming from Jesus. So you niggas don't understand that this is a deity. Santa Claus is not a man. He's a deity. I'm gonna get to that tomorrow, but I'm just lining it up to prove to you that he's Odin, that he's Thor. You see Thor riding through the sky on his it ain't a chariot, it's a car, a wagon. He's on the wagon pulled by two goats. So there you go again with the goat. So that's Krampus. You understand? The Thor's goat, Pan, the cornucopia, motherfucking Capricorn. Y'all don't understand that. Even Lupercalia, them motherfuckers was sacrificing goats. Then when you go to them goddamn Vikings, sacrificing goats. See, that's a part of their goddamn bloodline, that goat worship. That goat were back to myth. And all of that shit. That's come out of that same worship. All right, I needed to say that. Let me go back. I'm going to go to 6:30 and I'm going to get out of here because I can come back to. This is going to be a phone. And believe me, you ain't going to want to miss none of this shit because I'm going to lay out. Y'all going to see some shit and that shit going to fuck you up. It's going to fuck you up. You're going to get an education today. Oh yeah, let me go. You're right back down here. So now to prove that the Christmas was influenced, and I'm focusing strictly on Britain because most of the Europeans that came to America was from Britain. It was some from France, but the majority was from Britain. Okay, that's why the number one ally of the America right now is Britain. Okay, so with the conquest of the British Isles, the Romans brought with them Saturnalia, Lupercalia, and all forms of Roman holidays and festivals. So they was well aware of that. You know what I'm saying? And so that influence, and Saturnalia was December 17th to like December 21st, something up in that area. And then it was extended to go into the 25th because that was the day the birth of Mithra and the birth of Sol, which is two sun deities of Rome, you know, and when they, again, when the Romans conquered Persia, then Sol, Evicticus, which means the unconquerable sun, became Mithra, two the same deity, just a different name. So that lets you know Saturnalia. If y'all want to know what Saturnalia is, just type in spring break, and then you got to be aware of what you're gonna see, because you're gonna see a lot of wicked shit. They be in them clubs down there, 2, 3, 4, 500 people in the club, half the club dancing, half the club perform. How the fuck is you gonna be in there having sex in front of all them people with people you don't even fucking know? That is so fucking nasty and sick when you think about it. But that's Saturnalia. So you see that the practices of Saturnalia is still a part of every fuck. So when you came to Christmas, is what I'm saying. Christmas just became a holiday for the children in America. In America. But before, when you go to Father Christmas in England, that was an adult holiday. And they got drunk. They, you know, that's why you got the what you call the mistletoe, where you could literally rape a woman. Today they say, oh, if a woman get caught up under the mistletoe, you could kiss her. No, nigga, let's get real. They was raping them women. They was raping them women. They was taking them women with that shit. Getting drunk. They were fast even during fucking Christmas. And so I'm gonna keep moving so I can get most of this in. So you see, the Romans took Saturnalia not only to Britain, into Spain, into France, Italy, all over. I mean, you know, Greece, all through these areas. Okay. Now, when they brought that shit to Africa, and African people didn't hold on to none of that shit. Okay. They didn't hold on to none of that shit. And so this is when the Vikings invaded. So the Vikings first invaded Britain in 793 AD and last invaded in 1066. And so when you look at the orange, that show you the dominant areas. And so that's why the days of the week are named after Viking deity. That's why so many of the words are Viking words, and it's a Germanic language. Go look this shit up. Damn, baby, I want y'all to know this shit. I love y'all, man. I want y'all to be empowered after this shit. So that's why I'm telling you, I know that Santa Claus is older. That's why they have so much influence over the days of the weeks. Okay? And so from England, they brought that shit to the Americas. Okay? The English brought their Roman, Nordic, Viking culture to the America. That's why you see the Raiders. That's why you see the Minnesota Vikings. And it's so many streets and towns still today in Britain named after Odin, named after Thor, and it's a lot of damn cities and things in America and in Canada named after Thor, Odin, and Viking deities. Okay, now these is all of the, you know, when you're talking about Yule and you're talking about bringing gifts, you're talking about Christmas, everybody got a different personage that brings the gifts. If you go to the Viking areas, it was called the god Jule, which is a Christmas gnome, which is not an elf, but a gnome. Okay, you can see when you go to Sweden, they got the Yule goat, where the man or woman would dress up like a goat. Here we go again. Here we go again. Where they would, you know, they dress up as a goat and deliver the presents. It was no Santa Claus. Santa Claus didn't exist yet. Santa Claus was invented in America. You got Santa Claus. Santa Claus is the Dutch, and he preceded Santa Claus. So when you anglicize Santa Claus, it becomes Santa Claus. But they didn't want that. They didn't want that version. They switched some things on that. You see, Santa Claus come on December 5th. He don't come on December 25th. Yeah, he ride a horse. He don't ride a sleigh. And he goes on the rooftop, but he sent a black slave down the damn chimney. See, y'all don't see that part. And if you look up Santa Claus or St. Nicholas Day in the Netherlands, you will see that all them white people dress up in blackface. And many of the black peoples is over there protesting that because they know that the Moors, see, that's their way of showing how they defeated the Moors. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people say the Moors ain't black. The white man remember clearly who the Moors is. They know that the Moors was black with woolly hair. And that's why they dress up like them. That shit is ridiculous how niggas don't want to be black. And the white man clearly know who he was. Okay? And then when you go into France, northern France, they got one called Bells. It says Christmas, man. His name is Bells Nickel. And then you got Father Christmas from United Kingdom down into Spain, into parts of France, into Italy. They even got a witch in Italy. They even got a witch that deliver presents. And then you go up to Iceland, they got trolls. Now these motherfuckers is mischievous. See, they don't don't want to tell you that Christmas is just like Halloween. Any of them holidays that come after the fall of the sun, this is considered a period where evilness walked the earth up in them cold regions. So they didn't really have no holidays for no children. And so I got to tell y'all that. Now let me get back to where I want to be, so I could come back up here and show y'all. Now you see Cronus or Saturn carrying off his children. Now look to the right. Look at Father Christmas. They wasn't always fucking, children oriented. You got fucking Father Christmas throwing the child in the back. That's why I say he knows when you're sleeping, you better be bad. You be good for goodness sake, because my Father Christmas, just like Krampus, I told you he was the shadow of Krampus. Krampus was the shadow of Santa Claus or Father Christmas. He doing the same job. You see how they destroying them children? So now today they trick you by making it seem like it's a children's oriented holiday. So you can come put your baby on his lap. And so he could do all the freaky shit. They kidnapping your baby. They fooling y'all today. They giving you niggas candy. Now Odin is in the middle. He always wore the veil, the hood, just like Father Christmas. And just like Saturn and just like Jesus. They always wore the hood, which is a veil. And Odin was a wanderer. He would disguise himself. He would be in different disguises. That's why up in the Scandinavia, they say be careful. If somebody asks you for a piece of something to eat or some money, be careful who you turn down, because it might be Odin. You see what I'm saying? So clearly you can see Father Christmas is a combination of Saturn, Cronus. He's also a combination of Odin and Thor. He's many in one. They took from many of them deities to make the one. So now you're talking about the hood and gods with staff. You see Jesus with the hood. You see him with the staff. You see Saturn. Then you see Odin, the third, with his hood and his staff. And then you come to Father Christmas with his hood and his staff. Okay? Now to the right, that's Santa Claus. Sometimes he was seen on the horseback, and sometimes he was known as a wanderer. And then did not Jesus wander from city to city because they was looking for him? He couldn't stay in one city. He had to wander from city to city, and when the authorities knew that it was him, he had to pack up and move. And then he used to always tell people, tell nobody of what you learn, or tell nobody of who where you got it from. That was his way of concealing his tracks as he moved through the so-called Palestine. Okay? And so here it is, Saturn, Cronus with the hood, cloaked like Odin and Father Christmas and Father Time. Okay? Now, what does the hood? It means a veiled, hidden message. That's what it means. When you see somebody hooded, if a nigga about to stick your ass up and he got that hood and he hold his head down, he's concealing his identity to you. So when they put that fucking veil on or they put that hood on, they concealing their true identity. They shapeshifters. Okay, this, that, and the third. He coming like a man that loves children, but he wants to commit a ceremony or a heinous act on your baby. You better wake your motherfucking ass up. Okay, and so here you see the veil right there. Hide. See? That let you know it's a hidden secret message up under what and don't ever trust the surface. Don't ever trust that surface shit. Always pull back the veil and go deeper, because in this world, it's guaranteed. I don't give a fuck what it is. It's a hidden message under all information. It's a veil on surface information. It's a veil, and so you got to pull back the veil. You got to pull the cloak up off of the secret information and show the people exactly. And so again, I show this father. Now this is the ghost of Christmas future, which is Saturn, to show you all of this is connected. And when you see, now Saturn is also Father Time. So the ghost of Christmas future is also Father Time. You see where he always point to? He always point to that motherfucking tomb, nigga. He always point to that goddamn grave. That's what he point to. And why did he point to that grave and tell Ebenezer Scrooge why his ass? Because you ain't giving up your wealth to the system. When y'all niggas go and spend all y'all money, you understand? That's Father Time. That's Saturn. That's the ghost of Christmas future telling you, nigga, if you do not partake in this, nigga, your family ain't gonna love you. You're gonna be an outcast, nigga. You ain't down with society when you do. Make you feel like an outcast. Now today, that energy has caused almost $500 billion to be spent on some bullshit. And when you pull back the veil, it's all leading to your motherfucking demise and destruction. Okay, let me come up out of this. I got 5 more minutes. Well, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna start back up. But to show, let's deal with. I'm gonna deal with Baby New Year, just so y'all can see. You understand what I'm saying? Where's that one? Let me bring it down so I can have all I need. Let me bring. Oh, okay, right there. Come on over, baby. Come on over. See, I got to work out. And I'm gonna and y'all just get back here tomorrow, fam. So this motherfucker I'm gonna show you the connection to all these holidays. And y'all niggas gonna be fucked up about what you see. And I'm gonna make the serious connection. Okay, right here. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna drop it right here. So we see that Father Time that they portrayed tonight. You're gonna see Father Time, you're gonna see Baby New Year. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all got to understand that's Cronus. That's eating his children. They done fooled you niggas. And you a part of this shit. And it's showing you the six Saturnalian, Satanistic control of time and the holiday and the seasons and the calendar. And you working for this cracker day in and day out. And you going into 2020 with no wealth. Okay? This is what it's doing to you. You got to break the hourglass. You got to break up out of you're not the genie in the lamp, nigga, trapped in the lamp. You got to free yourself from this and get back on a cycle that will liberate you economically, spiritually, intellectually. So this is Bacchus. You see what I'm saying? This is Bacchus. And you'll see many, and I'm going to show you tomorrow when I get into the Greco-Roman and show Saturn many statues and vases and with Saturn and Cupid together. They go together. Okay, there's many stories where they connected. And you see them grapes. You see them grapes where he's the god of wine. And then you got Eros, another baby. These are all forms of the same child figure, the same child spirit that these old freaky men love. They raping them boys, having child sacrifice. So when you go out tonight and you see these, the intoxicants and you drinking and shit, that's in honor of Bacchus. Okay? That's in honor of Bacchus. Now, you come to your Jesus. You see Bacchus. How in the fuck is a young baby drinking wine? Baby and Jesus and Bacchus are erotes. That the many aspect of Eros, Cupid. Okay, so when you got many aspects of Bacchus and Eros and Cupid. One of them is Hermaphroditus, where it shows Cupid, Bacchus or Dionysus as a fucking hermaphrodite. Man, this shit had titties and a damn phallus where they, one goddess loved this God so much that they fused them together. And so this is an erote where it's a different aspect of Eros. You understand? If you see more than one, like when them Christian paintings and you got a lot of little babies at one time, those are called erotes. Okay, whereas more than one Eros. And it might be a specific characteristic about this particular erote that make him different. Now, Bacchus is an erote of the wine. Okay, he's still Eros, but he's an erote of wine. And so you got a hermaphrodite erote, and so Jesus is one of those erote. You see him with the cup, the chalice, and he's also a god of wine. Okay, Jesus is also Bacchus. He's one of the 16 crucified saints. So you see him right there. You see Bacchus and fucking Father Time, homosexual, pedophile, grapes in their damn ears and shit. So when you talk about baby New Year, this is a pedophile symbol, family. This is a pedophile symbol. Again, you see the Eucharist, you see the grapes. Now that's Christian. That's Christian, right? And then I put Bacchus on the other end, even though the chalice is ancient in Egypt. The chalice, so they took that don't got nothing to do with ancient Egypt. But many of the chalices was used in ceremonial rites. They speak of it. But you see how the Christian added the grapes, which are sacred to Bacchus, because Jesus is Bacchus. Bacchus is Jesus. Jesus turned the water into wine. He also said, I'm the vine. I'm going to end with, let me get that so I can end with it. But Jesus said, I'm the vine. I don't know why I didn't bring that up. That's ridiculous. And then I'm going to be back. I'm going to be black again tomorrow, y'all. Y'all just got to get, y'all see all this knowledge I got to bring to y'all. Where is that at? Oh, here you go. Here you go. And I'm going to end with this. I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Do you hear that? I am the true vine. That's a verse in the Bible. He says, I'm the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. And that's why, let me get this up here. Let me come out, because I'm at 6:30 and I'm gonna end, y'all. You ain't gonna get this shit nowhere else. You is not that. You see what I'm saying? And so, again, that's why when you see Jesus and his beloved disciple, John, that you see him always land on him. See, that's another aspect of the Bacchus, Eros, that carry over into Christianity. Okay, when them Romans, they got a hold of, the Greeks started it with Serapis. Serapis became Jesus. And that's why, really, there is no jet. You see what I'm saying? That shit didn't come into the 6th century. So Jesus ain't nothing but Zeus. You know what I'm saying? If you even look at Dionysus, S-U-S, Dionysus. You see what I'm saying? Don't fuck with the God. We is the greatest. I love to hand y'all this information because I know it's fact. I researched the shit so thoroughly that when I hand it to you, I'm handing you all you need, arming you to go do your research. Go do the motherfucking research, beloved. Go do the research. Just we love the God for what I'm trying to do for the people. Love the God, man. It take a lot, for me to live my life like this and bring this. I do it for you. I do it for us. I do it for the baby to empower them so you can know this. This is facts. Don't let them play with you. Facts. And before I go spit some shit, I make it. When you see the shit, it's hard to undo. I was fucking reading these books that Dr. B, the 16 crucified saviors, Massey, Church Word, and I don't fuck with them crackers like that. You understand what I'm saying? But I must admit that a lot of that information of comparing these deities and showing how they Achilles and Balder of the, all of them dying by some type of either arrow or, dying on the cross. And if you see the arrow go through Achilles' heel, it comes in at an angle where it makes the cross. The cross is the solar cross, and the sun is the deity. But when you anthropomorphize something, that means you give it a human characteristic. But that's a veil. You got to pull it back and see that the true deity is the sun. That's what, and we honor that because we see many similarities between ourselves and the cosmos. Our resurrection was patterned after the resurrection of the sun, who has a daily resurrection and a yearly resurrection. But for the black gods, our resurrection is re-erection. That's why when you see Osiris on that papyrus and his phallus is erect, is right up under the sun. So when you see that obelisk out there and the sun reach 12, when it reaches highest point in the sky, it's right above that obelisk, man. So resurrection for the son of the sun is re-erection. And your resurrection is your children that come after you. You resurrect through your children, family. We pattern ourselves after the cosmos. I love you. Thank you for coming out. I'm gonna go to the chat for a minute, see how family appreciate it. I'm coming right back. Y'all see all of that information? I'm gonna go 4 days and I'm gonna work y'all out. I'm gonna work y'all out, give y'all that information. You'll always be able to come back, watch the video. You understand what I'm saying? Get the information, do the research. Go out there, bang on them motherfuckers. It's time for the African-centered community, the gas chamber, the gas squad, the global African supremacy to go out there and get out. We is the top, but we got to bang now. We got to get some scholarship. I'm handing y'all the baton. Go get some scholarship, do the shit, mastery. Just don't fucking, listen, I was with my queen. And I was watching some motherfuckers on YouTube. And she was watching them before I even knew about it. And I said, damn, they stealing my shit. And so she come calling me today. She said, come in here, Seti. I said, what the fuck going on? And this individual had the upside down map, the top side up map. It looked like the world upside, but it's really top side up. And they was explaining got the white man name they was doing a good job, but they did not explain why it was that way from the African perspective. They could not say we came from the beginning of the Nile. And even when you see Upper Egypt, it's close to the Sudan. When you look at Upper Egypt, Lower Egypt, it's on the Mediterranean. So up was going towards the Great Lakes region. That's up. Down is going towards Egypt. So that was down is bottom. Top is up. You understand? So we went down to Egypt. From the top, we went down in it. So she couldn't explain all that. So I was listening. I say, you know what? You could cheat off of a motherfucker paper. You could get an A until that teacher say, you motherfuckers ain't been getting no A's. Get that. We're going to retake this test. Get out a couple sheets of, paper. You know what I'm saying? You get up a clean sheet of paper and work out the problem. And when you do that, you're going to find out who cheating off of a nigga pay. All right, let me go to the chat. But I ain't mad at her. I ain't mad at her. But I know you've been taking my shit. But I can't blame if you at the top of the motherfucking food chain, what else is they supposed to do? But honor motherfucker, say, yeah, Sarah, drop that science and shit, because I got it from the elders. You know what I'm saying? I got it from the elders, but I didn't expand it on it and shit. Let me go to the chat as I drink my water. How I do today, family? How I do today? Thank you, Patah. Thank you, God. Thank you for all those that supported. Thank you. Of course, I ain't mad at I am not mad because somebody take it. That let me know that somebody here, but goddamn it, get it right, though. I'm a teacher that stress, get it right. I'm gonna be black tomorrow now. I'm gonna be black tomorrow. So same time, 4 o'clock, I'll be black in here. Okay? Thank you. Respect. 4 o'clock. So I know, don't get too drunk tonight. Don't go out there and, in that Santinillian fucking, state of mind. Watch out. It's a lot of fools out here. This is their season. This is their energy. Be careful. Whatever you do, be careful. Niggas out there shooting and shit, and niggas is drunk and high and shit. Be careful. Lock the door. Do something spiritual, man, and push that negative ass energy away from. All right, family. I love you, Black Power. See you tomorrow. Boom.